What's up guys, Kasey here, back with another Mancera First Impressions. Today we have Vanille exclusive. We're going to be breaking down the scent profile, the notes, basically the expected longevity, the expected sillage or projection, the recommended setting that I can see this best used, as well as the seasonality of the fragrance. Now, afterwards, we will be trying this fragrance for 2 days, 48 hours, and coming back to it on Thursday to discuss the actual expected results that we got and compare according to the first impressions and review the overall experience that we had. So, as of now, I'm going to be opening up this sample pack and we'll be discussing the notes after spraying it on. So, let's go ahead. And so, Vanille exclusive is actually meant to be a unisex Oriental Floral once again. So we're back into the floral territory once again with these Mancera fragrances. Let's see if this is actually unisex or not. So I got the packaging out. So we're gonna fill the sprayer and I'm gonna clear my arm a little. So one spray, two, get the whiff of it, and then I'm gonna spray it onto my wrist and just let it sit just for a few seconds, just so that it can settle down. But from the whiff that I got from the spray that I sprayed in the air, I'm smelling peachy notes. Definitely, obviously, the vanilla is and then it's in the name, Vanille exclusive. But the vanilla is not as strong as the peachy notes right now. The peach note is definitely the more significant note, I would say, or it's like matching the vanilla note. And there's osmanthus as well that you can smell. It's a very clear floral note, the osmanthus that you can smell. There's supposed to be violet in this, but I'm pretty sure that I won't be smelling it until the mid notes to the dry down of the fragrance, just because as of now I'm mainly just smelling the osmanthus, there's supposed to be like this whipped cream kind of note in there as well that I'm smelling. There's a peach that is very significant, and so far these are the main three notes that I'm smelling, just through the opening and on my skin. The peach adds a very floral, I'm sorry, the peach adds a very fruity melange or mix to the overall floral and vanilla mix of this fragrance. Adds that floral and that fruitiness and the sweetness all together is a very nice blend, unique to this fragrance. I've never smelled something with this kind of mixture before, and it's very interesting. Although I would say, though this is unisex, I do believe that this is going to be, or should be, leaning more towards the lady side, just from the way the fragrance is evolving in the notes overall with the opening. In terms of longevity, I'm expecting this to be somewhere around 6 to 8 hours, just because Mancera fragrances, in general, from my experience and what I know, how they make their fragrances and whatnot, they usually tend to last, and they're strong fragrances. And so, though this doesn't have oud, which is a very strong ingredient to usually push fragrances very, very far into the longevity range, or rose, that's a very strong note as well. This does not have any of those, so I'm expecting this to be more on the milder strength of longevity. So 6 to 8 hours is probably conservative range of time length that I can expect this fragrance to be lasting. In regards to projection, this depends on how many you spray and if you spray it onto clothing. So Mancera fragrances, as I mentioned, are usually known to be pretty strong. So if you were to spray this onto clothing and your neckline, maybe into your hair if you're a woman, or even a guy, the back of the neck, they say it's usually a very good spot to spray since it holds the fragrance very well. This, I can expect it to be somewhere around 2 to 4 feet, depending on your skin chemistry, if you showered, if your skin is oily, all of that. but I do not believe that this could fill up a room. And I say this um, with the idea that it may after trying this out, but as of now, my expectation is of this is around 2 to 4, depending on how many sprays you apply and how many and where you apply the fragrance as well. In regards to recommended setting, this is kind of a playful and fun fragrance, so I would see this used best for a woman going on a date, going to any kind of nightlife event, or a casual setting as well can work very well. Maybe even work depending on the line of work you're in. Say if you're a lawyer, I would say this would be a bad choice of fragrance. However, if you work in a retail environment, if you're a bartender, if you're um, in kind of like any kind of service industry or retail space, is very good just because it's fun and playful, and it's very enjoyable and it's not overwhelming as well. So if you're client facing, it's not going to be too overbearing on for anyone to be smelling that fragrance. Now in regards to seasonality, just because it has that sweetness to it and it's kind of a full body fragrance, meaning that it's kind of dense in terms of the fragrance scent, I would probably um, stray away from wearing this during the summertime, just because of the summer heat and how it's going to be breaking down the notes of this fragrance is not going to be very pleasant. I would say this is very good for fall time, maybe winter time, but I would probably just stay strictly for fall time. Now, I was going to recommend spring, but it mainly depends on the climate that you have in the area that you live in for your springtime climate. So if your spring climate is usually the temperatures hit somewhere around 70 to 80 degrees, or say 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, 12, 15 degrees Celsius, somewhere around there, then this may not be very suited for that just because of that vanilla note. There's some amber in this supposedly. Some of that floral notes are maybe not going to be the best developed in higher heat temperatures. So I would say maybe strictly use this for somewhere around 60 and below Fahrenheit, or about 12 degrees Celsius and below. This would be very good for that kind of climate. That's all that we have for our first impressions of Mancera Vanille Exclusive. So overall, as I said, this fragrance seems to be kind of more on the feminine side, but I'm going to be trying this out for the next 48 hours or 2 days, and we're going to be seeing if this truly hits that longevity, that projection that we expect, if those recommended settings that we offered were suited for this fragrance. And since right now it's fall time in Dallas and we're experiencing around 60 to 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit and weather, we have the perfect climate to try this fragrance out. So stay tuned for a review of Vanille Exclusive coming up on Thursday. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.